Welcome to the Vinyl Hustle, Friday, May 20th. We've got a great episode for you today. My bargain pick is none other than Cajun folk singer Jimmy C. Newman. Found a record of his that's a bit beat up but still sounds great in the dollar rolling crates under the folk section. Also, Brando has a unique find for you. If you grew up in the 1990s, you will know the Angus soundtrack. Angus, the lovable loser who was in love with the popular girl at his school, the age-old tale. But this soundtrack, if you were into alternative music in the 90s, you definitely had this soundtrack, probably on cassette or CD. It's got Weezer, Green Day, The Muffs, Pansy Division, Goo Goo Dolls. It's got it all. Stay tuned for that. But first, I want to tell you about an incoming collection we got from a gentleman in North St. Louis. It's a lot of old blues and jazz and rock and roll artists you see here, like Memphis Slim and Albert King, John Lee Hooker, Elmore James, Ray Charles, Count Basie, all the usual suspects. Miles Davis, Jerry Mulligan, Stan Kenton, Elvin Jones, Charlie Parker. But I wanted to feature a record by Mr. Grant Green. It's called Am I Blue? Grant Green, if you don't know him, he was born right here in St. Louis, Missouri, June 6, 1935. His father was a St. Louis policeman. He started playing guitar back in grade school, and at 13 he was playing professionally with the gospel music ensemble. His influences were Charlie Parker, Lester Young, Charlie Christian. His first recordings were right here in St. Louis with tenor saxophonist Jimmy Forrest for the United label. Green also played alongside drummer Elvin Jones and recorded several albums in the mid-1960s, including this one. It's called Am I Blue, came out in 1964, late June. I see a pattern here. It's on the Blue Note label. He recorded a lot on the Blue Note label. First two tracks on the album had been recorded by Ray Charles, and then Sweet Slumber was a 1940s hit for the swing band leader Lucky Millinder. The next album I wanted to feature is Mr. Dexter Gordon with his Homecoming album. It's a live album, double LP, recorded at the Village Vanguard in New York City, 1976. The album's title refers to Gordon's return to the United States after a long residency in Europe. The album was released in 1977, just 1 year later, produced by Michael Kuskuna. If you don't know Dexter Gordon, he was a tenor saxophonist. He was also like a band leader and an actor even. He was even in a couple features. He was among probably some of the most influential early bebop musicians. You know, like Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie and Bud Powell. He was super tall. He was 6 feet and 6 inches. So he was also known as the Long Tall Dexter or the Sophisticated Giant. His studio and performance career spanned over 40 years. As you can see in the video, this version we have here is a white label promo copy. It's even got this sticker on the front and a gold stamp on the back, and then the labels are indeed white labels. So come on down, check it out with the rest of this collection. There's John Lee Hooker and Lightning Hopkins and all kinds of great blues and jazz. Come on down to Music Record Shop. See you soon.
Hey everybody, it's Brando with this week's Unique Find, and today we have the soundtrack to the movie Angus. This is one of my favorite movies, and if you haven't seen it, I would tell you to go rent it immediately. But Blockbuster is long gone, and I'm guessing so is your local video store, so find it on one of the streaming services, but believe me, it's definitely worth it. This movie came out in 1995 and is a great movie about an overweight, insecure high school freshman trying to get the girl of his dreams to notice him. Many situations ensue, resulting in this movie dealing with subjects like body image, eating disorders, and bullying. Despite that, it's a comedy and is well worth a watch. But on top of all that, and the reason why we're here, this movie had an awesome soundtrack that, for most young viewers of the movie, served as their introduction into the world of alternative music, and provided the mid-90s alt-rock soundtrack to many a young student's awkward high school experience. Take a listen today, 27 years later, if you need a blast from the past from artists like Green Day, Weezer, and Goo Goo Dolls, to name just a few. A classic for any collection. Pick up the Angus movie soundtrack here at the shop at 3116 Locust Street in St. Louis or online at musicrecordshop.com. The Angus movie soundtrack, this week's Unique Find.
Welcome to the bargain pick of the episode, and it is an old Cajun singer, Mr. Jimmy C. Newman. Yes, the C does stand for Cajun. The album is called, I'm going to butcher this, so I apologize to any Cajuns listening out there, but Lâche pas la patate basically means hold on to your potato. Old Cajun saying. Jimmy C. Newman was a famous country singer. He was always on the Grand Ole Opry. He was born in 1927 in Louisiana, but resided in Nashville most of his adult life. He had a bunch of songs in country music and Cajun music. I found this guy right in the dollar crates. I thought it was a great score. I know I'm a little late for Mardi Gras or Jazz Fest, but hey, it's always Cajun time to eat some gumbo and dance around. It's got a little water damage on the bottom, and the record has got some spots, but it still sounds great. I'm going to play for you now the title track, Lâche pas la patate. Hold on to your potato, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us on the Vinyl Hustle, right here at Music Record Shop in Midtown St. Louis. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Oh,